2016 Brazilian GT.
Right, good morning everyone. We are live here for round 17 the Bronze Division. Here in Season 8 of Formula 7 Racing, we are at Interlagos today for the sprint race. Always a good sprint weekend here at Interlagos. We've had some brilliant championship fights in the past year. We've had Sergio Silva versus Maggi. We've had Podge versus Ginaudi. And today we will have Alvaro Chabas versus Taylor. And yep, we will also throw Pierre Jack in there. I think he is still just about mathematically able to get it, but Taylor could win the championship today, I think, if he wins both races. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see if he can wrap up the championship today. The Alpine drivers had a very good season, Taylor, so it'll be very, very interesting to see if he can bring it home today. But yeah, of course, Interlagos, as we mentioned, it's notorious for crowning champions. Of course, we had Lewis Hamilton right the way back, and I think it was 2008 or 2009 when his first championship there. Felipe Massa as well, winning it on home soil for the first time. Of course, we got Devil Rejected, who is the first car out on track today, so we'll go on board with the MSC and F7R driver of Devil Rejected. Right. Of course, teammates of Taylor, he might actually be right within the championship fight here in terms of constructors. Alpine right up there alongside McLaren, Haas, and I think there's one more, McLaren, Haas, and Mercedes. There we go. Also getting Red and Alvaro. Red is currently driving with no traction control, so Red may have a few whoopsies. We'll wait and see on that. But we'll stay on board with Devil Rejected as he sets the benchmark here in qualifying as he barrels down in towards the centre S's of turns 1, 2 and 3. Let's see, hugs right hand side to open up the left. Of course, the turn 1 clips the curb nicely. Again, you want to do the same in turn 2 and 3 without Invalidate. He does that very well, does Devil Rejected, as he comes through 3 and barrels down in towards turn 4 of the Sierra del Lago. I'm not gonna lie, his camera angle's pretty naff. There we go. We'll try and get it to where we can actually see the car. As you can see, traffic getting out of the way very well there, the Ferrari, as he barrels down in towards turn 6 and 7. Again, clips the curb very nicely there to open up the left-hander of turn 8. As he comes now down in towards turn 10. Heavy braking zone this. Sets up the main straight. If you can carry all the momentum coming through there and coming through turn 12 and into John South. Oh, he's crashed into a Red Bull. That's Liam. Oh dear. Liam wasn't looking in his mirrors and he has absolutely blocked Devil Rejected on flying lap. He's got a 5-place penalty from the game and he's probably got a lower damage there. He's going to have to come into the pits for Devil Rejected comes in for a new front wing, and that is not how you would have wanted to start this session off. We do have Nick just come to the end of a flying lap. I think he must have invalidated Nick because unfortunately he has not set a time. Red Wildfire sets the benchmark of a 109.2. We now have the other Red Bull of Nimble Cat coming up towards the line who does a 196. So good lap there from Nimble Cat. But yeah, not the start of qualifying we would have wanted here. We got Podge getting a massive slipstream, I think, from Rishi J as he comes up towards the line now. Pod does a 109.4, Rishi J up towards the line in the Williams does a 109.5, so Red still setting the benchmark here early on. Heighton currently in sector 1, Euro F1 Viva come to the end of sector 2. But yeah, wasn't expecting that. That caught me quite off guard then with the camera angle. But yeah, we got Alvaro rounding the final couple of corners here, rounded turn 15 and up towards the line comes the Portuguese driver Alvaro Chabas. Currently second in the championship. He goes for provisional pole today with 108.9. Great lap there from the Portuguese driver. We've now got Denrod coming up towards the line as well in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what he can do. Hugging the left-hand side out of turn 15 up towards the line. And he goes for provisional pole for 108.8. A brilliant lap there by the Englishman. It's great to see Denrod back on the grid this week. We got Fear Jack in sector 2. We got Heighton coming through sector 3 as well. See if we can find someone a little bit closer to the line. Here comes Sus. Of course, in the other Alfa Romeo, can he get anywhere near his teammate? Up towards the line he comes, and he goes P7, 109.8. A good banker there. Here comes Heighton in the AlphaTauri, does a 109 flight height and always does good around Interlagos. That's another brilliant lap there from him. Here comes Fear Jack, currently third in the driver standards. Up towards line he comes. Taylor does a 108.9, can't get quite near to Denrod. Jack does a 109.2, so he's currently in P6 as well. But that's a good lap there by Taylor, a good benchmark, 2,000ths off Alvaro Chabas, of course. We now go back and forth with Mad G, who's the only driver currently on a lap in that Williams, as he rounds, of course, the Sia de Lago out of turn 5 and in towards turn 6 he comes. Ferragura, and now into turn 7. Again, clipping the inside curve here. Mad G with full traction control is able to go full throttle in second gear. Most drivers won't be able to do that, of course. But it does really help in the sector 3 to really get your foot on the gas. As you can see, coming out of turn 8 in towards turn 9. And now in towards turn 12 of John Sao, and in towards the sweeping corner of turn 13, 14 and 15. I do not know why this doesn't just count as one corner, but it does count as 2. And up towards the line comes up towards Mad G. And he goes P7 just ahead of his teammate. And that is commitment, Jim. Watch it in the bath. I'm sure you'll be cheering on, of course, your buddy from MSC, a Devil Rejected, who unfortunately did get blocked in his first flying run. Let's see if we go back on board this time, if he has a bit more luck this time around. And he comes in towards turn 10. Again, hopefully no traffic coming out of turns 11 and 12 this time around for Devil Rejected. As he comes in towards Jun Sao. Again, carry all the momentum. A little bit too eager on the throw. He gets a little bit squirrely coming out of there. And he now comes through 13, 14 and 15 as well. Yes, Julius, there is prizes, there is trophies. We're also doing a competition currently in association with TTL, who's one of our affiliate leagues, and we will be giving away a new copy of the F124 game. That race is to be announced, but yeah, we do give away prizes in this league. Nathan dips into his pocket quite generously for that as well. So yeah, the champions will be getting a trophy, same with the constructors as well, which is absolutely great to see. Double Rejectors are 110.0. We will go on board with Nathan, the race, the winner from the last time out. Nathan won his first ever race in Formula 7 racing, the league owner. Can he do it again this week here at Interlagos? As he now comes out of turn 10 and now through 11 and in towards turn 12 again of Yun Sao. Let's see how F7R Nathan is getting on his lap, but looks like he's had a clean one so far. He's also going to get a bit of a slipstream, I think, from an Alpine going in towards the pits. I think that's Devil Rejected there, but up towards the line comes F7R Nathan. Let's see what kind of benchmark he can set in this qualifying session. 10 minutes to go, and he goes just ahead of his teammate for 109.085. So he's right in the fight here, Nathan. That's a good lap there from him. Liam also doing a 109.3. We got Nimble Cat, who hasn't validated this run. Ferrero F1 Beamer is just coming through turn 1. So we'll see if we can find someone a little bit further along on the lap. Yudi has also invalidated and is having a little bit of a skid there, is Yudi. But let's go on board with Taylor. Taylor slightly down in Sector 1, the Championship leader. He can wrap it up today, of course, depending on how things go in the race for Alvaro Chabas and Fia Jack as well. Good morning, AB. How you doing, mate? But as we can see, Taylor now barreling down towards turn 8 and 9. He's got a little bit of traffic for the Ferrari. I think that's Yudi, who will get out of the way quite well and hopefully not do, of course, a Liam and just stay in the middle of the road. But as we can see, Taylor is carrying on through. We've got a full lobby today, AB, but if you are interested in joining, estimate my Discord in the chat. We'll bring it into the Discord server. We'll see free time trial trains from Bahrain, Singapore and Spain, and we'll get you ready for us as soon as possible. But Taylor is getting an inadvertent slipstream here, but the Ferrari has not moved in terms of getting out of the way, which is a little bit unsportsmanlike. But let's see if it helps Taylor. He comes up towards the line and he doesn't improve, Taylor. That third sector wouldn't have helped, I don't think. We've now got Red on the lap coming through sector 2. She is slightly up. She set the benchmark in this qualifying session for 109.2. Let's see if she can get that down into the 108s. But as we can see, Red now coming through turns 8 and 9 and in towards turn 10. Again, Guess had done very well. She now comes through Mugello and in towards Jun Sao, turn 12. Alvaro Chabas does a 108.7 and he goes to provisional pole yet again. The Mercedes driver And it's an absolutely amazing lap time there from Albro. Let's see if his teammate of Red Wildfire can beat that. She's coming up towards the line now. Let's see what she can do. Oh, she comes into the pits. So she must have made a little mistake there in sector 2 and 3. Let's see if we can find a driver. Oh no, that Fiat Jack Boy went to P4 then, just missed him coming over the standings. We got Podge who has him validated. He's not having a good race here. And this is where his championship unraveled, of course, in Season 7 Podge. So he's not got very good memories of Interlagos, this Podge racing. But here comes F7R Nickja, and he comes up towards the line now, out of turn 15. Let's see what Nick can do on his first proper flying run here in qualifying. He goes P10. 109.2, immediately beat by Reese, who was getting the slipstream there, beats him by 100th of a second. Don Dead also doing a 108.8, so a very good lap there for the AlphaTauri driver. We just missed that, but phenomenal lap there. We got UFO F1 Viva. Not quite complete the lap. He is giving a slipstream to Doug, though. Of course, his teammate for today. Good friends from UFRL, them two. Oh, Doug's invalidated. He can't make use of the slipstream. So Doug's only really going to have one flying run to try and make sense of this qualifying session. Not the start Doug would have wanted. I don't think Doug quite has the time to put as much practice in as he was previously. He's not quite had the results to show for it. But let's see if the Aston Martin driver can make use of what will essentially be a one-shot qualifying. We got Jay on outlap. It's been a bit of a while since we've seen Jay on board for a lap, so let's stay on board with the Canadian driver. A bright and early 4 o'clock his time, the Cummins race here in Formula 7 race, and let's see what he can do as he comes through turn 1. Again, goes right the way to the right to open up the left at the start of the Center S's, and he barrels down through turn 3 and in towards turn 4. And the Sega de Laugo, and let's see what F7RJ can do here as he hugs the right again. He misses the apex slightly coming through turn 4, runs wide, however it will carry the momentum through turn 5, and now he comes in towards turn 6. There's a Canadian driver, again clipping the inside curve, very easy to lose the car here as you can see. He's just battling to keep it in a straight line here as he comes through 7 and in towards turn 8 and 9, as now he comes in towards, of course, turn 10 of Bico de Pato. And he does that very well there. As you can tell, my Portuguese is not the best. But I am trying my best here as he comes through with yellow. And he comes in towards turn 12 of John Sell. Oh, he gets a massive stab, does Jay. He set a purple sector 2. But that might just completely ruin his lap here. It's such a short lap around into Lagos. But let's see, up towards the line comes M7RJ. Can he improve slightly? Yes, he can. He goes P2. 300ths of Álvaro Chabas. However, with that massive snap, it would have cost him at least 2.5 temps. So he would have been on pole by a substantial margin there, Jay. That is so unfortunate there for him. Didn't get the lap in. We also have Denrod really pushing on in the Alfa Romeo. He went provisional pole with his last flying lap. Can he do the same on this one as well? As he comes out of 9 and in towards... Sorry, it's not out of 9. He's coming in towards turn 12 of John Sao. And now through 13 and 14. And up towards the light. Julius, it doesn't take too long, actually. Yeah, 18 minutes long is qualified. Denrod does come into the pits. So yeah, we do have short qualifying on. It is a sprint weekend, so we're going to have a sprint race after this. And then the main race. Taylor just in second 1, about to set his flying run. We got Heighton going off and letting Nathan through. Nathan coming out, of course, John Sao through 13 and 14. And in towards 15 and up towards the line. Comes F7R Nathan, using all over the track there as he does so. Can he get anywhere near provisional pole? He goes provisional pole with a 108.737. The race winner last time out is on fire here in Interlagos. We've now got Taylor, who's almost 2 temps up, coming in towards the Sector 2 split. Let's see what will be. He comes in towards John Sauer, turn 12, just coming through 11 there. He is 2.5 temps up still. Again, very, very eager on the throttle there. Again, a little bit of a snapper, correcting it well. As he comes through 14 and 15 and up towards the line, comes F7R Taylor. Let's see where he can put an Alpine car. Will he go towards the top step? Yes, he will. He does a 108.624. Taylor has arrived here at Interlagos. He is 1/10 clear of the lap just done by F7R Nathan. Matt G just on an in lap. He'll probably retire on this lap, of course, as well. We got Deborah Jack. I think he just set another lap, not quite able to be quite on the pace. Nimble Cat, again, I think he's also just done a lap. I think Fiat Jackboy is the only driver on a lap right now, so let's go aboard with the Haas driver, the Scotsman, the man who was tipped to be the championship leader at this time in the season. It's not been the season he would have quite wanted. He's won multiple races though. He's absolutely dominated when he's driven to the standards you would expect from him. He's getting a lot on the curb there as he comes out of turn 8. That will hamper him coming in towards turn 10. Now carried all the momentum out of 10 and in towards turn 11. Easy flat through here. Might be a little lift in the race. And now he comes in towards turn 12 of John Sow. He's slightly down with that mistake on the curb. He may pull into the pit here for Jack. He's got about 2 minutes to go. He'll be very close in terms of getting out here and qualifying. This might be his final run, actually. And he now comes up towards the line. Does the Scotsman. Let's see what he can do in his final flying run here in qualifying. It'll be P3 at best for Fiat Jack, a 108.741. We've now got Alvaro Chabas pushing on his final flying run as well. As he comes out of forward in towards turn 6 and 7. Does the Portuguese driver of Alvaro Chabas. Again, hugging the left-hand side. You don't want to get too much on the curb. You can't park there, mate. I'm not sure who that Ferrari is. But again, we've got Mercedes teammate of Red getting out the way very well there. Alvaro not choosing an opportune time in terms of traffic, but he is coming through well as he comes through 11 and in towards turn 12 of John Zhao. He might get a massive slipstream here coming onto the main straight. Oh, he's lost it! Alvaro Chabas is around at a final corner, and up in smoke goes his chance. A pole position here at Interlagos at 108.755 will be the best he can do. He won't be able to improve upon that. We now have Denrod pushing here slightly down, coming out of sector 1. That is so unfortunate there for the Portuguese driver Alvaro Chabas. But let's turn our attention now to the Alfa Romeo of Denrod. The two front runners will be able to improve here. Taylor and Nathan are in the pit with 40 seconds to go here. Denrod might be one of the only challengers. He's a 10th down now. As he comes out of the final corner, really pushing hard here. Denrod to try and make up some time as the yellow flag in sector 2 for an Aston Martin. Hayden has retired in the pits. That'll be it there for the AlphaTauri driver as well. But up towards the line comes Denrod. Can he get anywhere near the front runners? No, he can't. He doesn't improve. Jay's coming through sector 1. We'll come back and have a look at Jay at a later date. Let's go on board with now Don Dedge. And he comes in towards the sector 2 split. And he is slightly down on his time. And he's mounted the curb coming in towards turn 12 with John Sow, which isn't ideal. But up towards the line comes Don Dedge. I don't think he'll improve here. He might even come into the pits. He thought about it, but he is going to stay out on this flying lap. Where would he go? He had Don Dedge. And he doesn't improve. He's 9 thousandths down. Liam comes out in P10. Red Wildfire up towards the line. Stays P14 with no traction control, sorry. She is not me. As we can see, Jay is 5 thousandths down, but this is where he lost all his time last time around. Can Jay make one last sprint for Paul? He had a Canadian driver. All he's got to do is keep it pinned to the floor. Stay to the left-hand side of the track and up towards the line. Comes F7 Jay. Can he take it? No, he can't. He misses out by 1/1000th of a second. So F7 Taylor takes Paul here in Interlagos. But wow, that was nail-biting at the end. That was so close for F7RJ. What a lap at the end. And that concludes what has been a thrilling qualifying session here at Interlagos ahead of the sprint and feature race here in round 18 of the Bronze Division. Devil, if you're listening, by the way, could you please retire your car? I know you're in the pits, but yeah, if you retire, we'll move to the next session. Thank you. But wow, for 1/1000th of a second, F7RJ lines up on the front row alongside F7R Taylor. Yudi on the second row, 8/1000ths off pole position as well. He's alongside Podge Racing. I mentioned not many good memories for Podge here at the Lagos. He'll be looking to change that today and try and get back on the podium, ease and try and win his first race in Formula 7 racing himself. Nathan alongside Via Jack on the third row of the grid. We also have Alvaro Chabas on the fourth row alongside UFL F1 Viva, who's had podiums in each of his last two races here in the bronze division. We then got Denrod alongside Don Dead to round out the top 10. We will just scroll through and just show you all the other qualifiers. Of course, Liam will jump down to P16 due to his contact with the unfortunate double rejected on his first flying run. Of course, if you are new around here, guys, estimate on our Discord in the chat. We'll bring you into the F7R server. Of course, we just need free time trial times from Bahrain, Singapore, and Spain, and we can get you racing with us as soon as possible. But here we go for the sprint race here in Interlagos, and it's looking quite cloudy over the Interlagos circuit. Brazil is notorious for mixed races, mixed conditions, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that does turn out. Sorry for the yawn there, it is a little bit early for me here on a Sunday morning, but here we go to lights out here for round 18 in the bronze division. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a good start there from the P2 set with Jay's and barrel down in towards turn 1. Jay's going to have the lead going in towards turn 1 surely. Down the inside he goes. Taylor's just getting a little bit more traction in the second phase on the soft compound tyres. They all get away well. The AlphaTauri having a massive snap. I think that's Heighton in the background as they now go 2 and 3 wide coming out of turn 2, but relatively cleanly so far. They do go through apart from Liam towards the back. As again, they all filtered away through again. The Ferrari get a little bit squiggly of UD. However, nothing quite doing there. F1 Viva going side by side with Alvaro Chabas. Alvaro down the inside on the soft compound tyres. Move done there for Alvaro. Also going through is Denrod, making use of that little mistake there by F1 Viva. Nothing quite doing there. Down the inside also goes Don Dead. So that's a good move there. And F1 Viva just going, tumbling down this grid here. Speaking of which, Pod just spun here on lap 1. The Swedish driver said he didn't have many good memories of Interlagos. I don't think that's going to change today by the looks of things. I can see a gap has formed between Alvaro Chabas and Nathan as well. Might be in contact between Alvaro then and Podge. And here comes Denrod now right on the back of the Mercedes driver. Nothing quite doing yet for him, but he is right within the wheel tracks. When he go for it down in towards turn 1, down the inside goes the Alfa Romeo driver. Round the outside will go Alvaro Chabas. Alvaro will have a lot more grip on those soft tyres. He has to cut the corner to avoid contact. We also got the Aston Martin of UFO F1 Viva trying to come back at Heighton as well. Closely followed by Ricci J. We could see 3 wide again coming in towards turn 4. We got Sus making a move on Maggi in the background as well. Here they come in towards turn 4. Do the mid-pack. Devil Rejected making up a lot of moves here on lap 1. He's making up a great recovery from qualifying. As you can see, look at the gap between them. It's so close between the midfield. We've got F1 Viva right on the back of this train, which includes Heighton, Dondage, Alvaro Chabas, and Denrod. Oh, and that's Jay making a massive mistake here. Denrod's right on the back of him yet. Nothing quite doing yet for the Englishman as he tries to hunt down the Canadian driver. Taylor has checked out in front here, and I don't think there'll be any catching Taylor in this race. I think he is gone for good. But here is F1 Viva right on the back again of Heighton, who's just starting to drop off the train. He might have made a little bit of a mistake in sector 3 as they barrel on through for lap 3. Taylor sets the fastest lap of this race over 1:10.3. We also got Sus going for a move here. Oh, there's contact! Sus has spun around, Devil Rejected at turn 1. Oh, just a little bit too eager there from Sus. I think Devil Rejected tried to leave the space, but he's just understeered into it. That's so unfortunate there for Devil Rejected. Alvaro Chabas is already flashing here on lap 3. He has not been conservative with that ERS, and will that come back to bite him in the remaining part of this race? We've also had Yudi dropping down massively from P4. He's now in P16 I'm not quite sure what happened there with Yudi. It might have actually been him who had contact with Podge at the start, and then Alvaro's kind of had to take avoiding action. I would assume that's what's happening, because there's no other reason for them two being so far down the grid. We got F1 Viva right on the back of Heighton as well, really pushing on, trying to look for a move here. We won't look at the ERS just to not spoil it for the other drivers. But Heighton is flashing. I don't think F1 Viva is just yet. Don Dedge also going for a move on Alvaro Jabas. Move done there for Don Dedge. He is into the top 5 yet again. He had Denrod now right on the back of Jay. DRS is enabled, but nothing quite doing yet. Nathan is back within the DRS of Taylor. Taylor must have made a mistake there to allow Nathan to get that close. And here is Denrod going for a move on Jay. Around the outside, going in towards turn 6. And that is move done there for Denrod. Great move from him there. As there's a little bit of contact from Jay and Denrod as well. We're lucky enough to do. Keep on going and carry that momentum through as the rest of the train does follow on right the way up to Europero F1 Viva down in P7. But we can just see Nathan is in striking distance of Taylor here. 3/10 is the gap as they come through to start lap 5 of 12 here in the sprint race at Interlagos. And Nathan now pulling into the slipstream. Will he go for a move here on the main straight? Down the inside, goes F7 on Nathan, and he makes the move going into the braking zone, and Nathan takes the lead this race for the first time, but he goes deep, and Taylor looking for the switchback, coming out of the center exit of turn 2, and now going through turn 3, Taylor right on the back of Nathan, as they barrel down in towards turn 4, there's a yellow flag at the back, but will stay focused on the 2 leaders, and they jostle for P1 in this race, round the outside goes F7 on Taylor, and he makes the move, going in towards turn 4, that's a brilliant move from Taylor, a great battle in there. For the 2 race leaders. A lot of people are flashing already in this train, really exerting the battery. Alvaro's dropped out of the gap to these front 4 here 1 to try and make his way back into it as Jay goes very deep then. But these medium tyres will come back into it as the race does go on, of course. You got to remember, Taylor and Nathan are both on the soft compound tyres. On Denrod has got Jay here. That's a brilliant move by Denrod in sector 3. However, he's going to be susceptible on the straight to a retaliation here from the Canadian, who has dropped 5 times back. However, he will still be well within striking distance coming in towards turn 1. We can see Denrod, of course, still flashing, of course. Nothing quite doing, of course. He's going to slot back in behind and maybe even wait for the second straight here, Jay. Looking to set up a good exit, coming through the center exit to try and attack. Goes the Alfa Romeo. We also have Taylor right on the back of Nathan as well. We'll go on board with these two as they squabble again for the lead. Again, Nathan getting back in front of the main straight, and Taylor taking it back on the second straight. Again, Taylor, this time it wasn't quite as easy. Nathan looked for a switch back out of turn 4, but nothing quite doing there. We'll have Jay still right on the back of Denrod as well. We got Alvaro Jabas following on through. He's back in this train as well. Heighton and Europero F1 Viva still battling as they have done since lap 1. We've got Red experiencing with no traction control for the first time. She's doing very well to keep it in a straight line, so well done to Red as well. In P13 at the moment, she'll be hoping to kind of get the consistency as the race goes on and try and make moves back up the grid. We can see Maggi is right on the back of Nick, but nothing quite doing yet for him. And now we go back on board leaders again. Will there be another switch for position? We've seen it multiple times. Nathan getting the move done on the main straight, and then Taylor getting it back on the second straight. And again, that looks like it's happening. But Yudi has had a spin there in the final sector. That's so unfortunate there for the Portuguese driver. Not what he would have wanted. But these two are having to work together here of Nathan and Taylor to try and stop the charge of Denrod, Jay, Alvaro, and Europero F1 Viva, who again is well placed to go for the podium places here, is the Aston Martin driver. And again, there's another yellow flag, and that's for Don Dedge. This time he's had a spin coming through, of course, the centre S. That's so unfortunate for Don Dedge. He's had so many good results since returning from his hiatus, but it looks like he's going to struggle in the sprint race. He's now currently P19, and the only driver behind him will be Podge Racing, who had a spin of his own on lap 1. We got Mad J lineups us here in sector 2. Nothing quite doing there for the Williams driver just yet, of course, but you can see where the full traction control is aiding Mad J. And as we look to the main straight, it is Nathan who leads this time around. Will Taylor go for the move or will he wait for the second straight as he has done over the course of this whole race distance? Nathan shows a great pace in the lead. We also have Jay going for a move on Denrod here. Down in towards turn one. Down the inside goes the Canadian driver. He goes deep again. These two do not want to be squabbling. They'll let the two leaders get away here. But as you can see, nose to tail come the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes and the McLaren coming out of turn four and in towards, of course, turn four now. And down the inside goes Denrod. Apologies, I lost my bearings there. But Denrod does go through on Jay, and he is back into the P3 position. But he has lost half a second on Delta compared to Taylor and Nathan. That might have just cost them a chance of fighting for this race win here. Denrod is eating up the ground here in Sector 2. And also, Taylor's starting to really struggle as well on his soft compound tyres. I think Nathan's kept him in slightly better nick. And he might even be able to gap Taylor out of DRS. He has done. So Taylor really struggling here. I'm not quite sure what's happened. I think Nathan's pushed the ERS here. In trying to do so, we'll have a look. In fact, no, we won't, because I've done it for the whole race, so we won't look at the DRS usage to not spoil that. But yeah, Nathan is flashing. Taylor isn't, so Taylor might be conserving a little bit more ERS. He is flashing now. So Taylor does have a little bit more ERS than Nathan, but he's had to push to get back into the ERS range and the DRS range of Nathan. We can see Nick and Ricci J battling down in towards turn one. Deep goes, of course, the Ferrari of Nick J and Richie J looking to retaliate. Coming out of turn three, he's ghosting for his car there. His Richie J has not a conventional overtake, but he does go through, and now also does the Alfa Romeo Sus. Again, he misses his braking point slightly, just Sus, but he makes the corner this time around without hampering another car, so Sus goes through and up into P10. Taylor and Nathan are staying put in P1 and 2 at this current moment. Denrod does make up a bit of time in this middle sector, but then loses it on the straight at the fact of not having the DRS usage. Sus and Nick are still battling here, going through in towards turn 10. Again, Sus goes through. Mad G just waiting in the wings, trying to push his way into the top 10 for the feature race. We'll have Doug right on the back of Heighton as well. Can Doug launch an assault here on the AlphaTauri driver? He's vulnerable. He's out of the DRS window. Here comes Doug out. When he goes for it down the inside, going towards turn one. Both of them are out of the DRS, but Doug has made the move, and he is up into P7. What a good recovery drive here from Doug after a qualifying he would have wanted to forget. He is now up into the top 7 and now hunting down the Mercedes driver of Alvaro Chabas. We now have Taylor right on the back of Nathan as well. That's a very flattering camera angle. But as we can see, Denrod now stealing the place to Jay. Jay now has got to try and work his way back up to F7R Taylor. Oh, there's a massive snap for Denrod. He's almost went into F1 Viva. Now they go side by side, coming out of turn 8 as they go from 9 and in towards, of course, turn 10. Harry Brookings on the 10. Well, F1 Viva go for a move here down the inside. He thinks better of it, goes to the outside. Is now looking to slingshot himself in towards turn 11 and 12 of John Sao. As we can see, Nathan really pushing on. He can almost get out of the DRS, but Taylor's straight line speed is carrying them in this race and giving them all the momentum. Of course, on the main straight alongside the slipstream. We've got Doug on Alvaro. We've also got F1 Viva currently on Denrod. Where F1 Viva go for a move here on lap 11 of 12. And when he's sitting behind, it looks like he's sitting behind just for this moment. Denrod has lost the DRS. Doug is going for a move at turn 1. He goes to the outside. Alvaro Chabas has the inside line for turn 2 at the accelerators. Doug may get switched back here as we look for the move of Heighton, who's come out of nowhere here in this terrain. Here comes Doug down the inside of Alvaro Chabas with the DRS, and he does go through for P6. It's Aston Martin 5-6 here in Interlagos in the sprint race. However, we do have one lap to go, and Doug will be without DRS. We also have Ricci J and Heighton battling quite heavily here. There goes Ricci J. He is through on the Alfa Romeo. That's a brilliant move from Ricci J to get back up in our position. We now go back on board to this little mini train of Heighton, Alvaro and Doug. I think Nathan is going to win this race quite comfortably here in the end. Taylor just not able to save those tyres throughout the course of the race. That might be a setup issue there for Taylor. I'll be interested to see if that does come into fruition in the race as well. But here these three come as they come out of turn 12 and in towards 13, 14 and 15. F1 Viva now looking for a move out of 15. on Denrod. Jay also looking for a move on Taylor. Down the inside goes F7 on Jay. What has happened to Taylor in this race? Jay gets a massive snap there. Of course, Jay on the medium, so his tyres will be working a lot better than Taylor at this point. But Nathan has kept his in such good nick that he's managed to pull away from Taylor and also his teammate Jay. Down the inside goes Jay, in towards turn 4. Taylor hands it around the outside. These could be championship defining moves from Taylor. If he can handle P2 in this race, that'd be massive for his championship implications come the end of this race. And look at Nick Jurt also on the back of Rishi J. Of course, there's so many battles going on throughout the field. We'll have a look at the leader. I'm not quite sure what's happening in the background. I think that's for Ferrari there towards the back. I think that's Yudi having another little whoopsie, but as we can see, Jay now right on the back of Taylor. And what Nathan's got to do is keep pushing through and try and keep the gap to keep Taylor out of DRS range. There's Jay. Taylor has played some DRS chicken and Jay has fell for it here. And now Jay's got to use all that barrier, but Taylor's went wide. Taylor's went wide. This is a catastrophe. Here comes F1 Viva. He's made the move on Taylor. UFR F1 Viva is up to P3. Taylor drops out. Nathan wins the Interlagos sprint race. As we can see, UFR F1 Viva gets back on the podium. Jay in P2, Taylor P3, Denrod in P4. Doug in P6. What recovery drive from Doug. Alvaro Chabas in P7, Height in P8, Sus P9, and Reese J in P10. But wow, what an ending to this race as Vina Jack has collected the ball after finishing the race. We now have Doug coming through, of course, for P16. Unfortunate for Doug, picking up a little bit of a moment. And F1 Viva keeps up this race pace of having a podium in every single race he's featured in. So an absolutely brilliant race. We tried a little proof of the DRS there. Taylor, I can only assume that's what you're trying to do, and it just went badly wrong at the end. It was a good idea if you were to kind of let him through and pick up the DRS and try and get him up towards the line. But yep, it is a McLaren 1-2 here in the sprint race at Interlagos, and that's going to give him a brilliant VTF for the race. As it is Nathan who wins 2 races in a row technically here in Formula 7 racing. He will lead on the front row for his teammate of F7RJ. You're from F1 Viva. From F7R Taylor will line up on the front row. Taylor again getting points on his championship rivals. Oh, you was lost in the second goal. Yeah, that explains it. As we can see, Denrod and Doug lining up on the 4th row. Alvaro Chabas and Heighton, Sus and Richie J round out the 5th row of the grid. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting race, guys. Hopefully, Interlagos doesn't throw up anything with the weather because it's been absolutely brilliant racing so far. Unfortunately, with a few incidents for a couple of drivers. We'll have a look at those after the session, of course. But another race win for the English Jamaican driver of F7R Nathan. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for the feature race. Oh, I need to join the comms box. Give me 1 second. As we do got 5 red lights here for the feature race in Interlagos. It's lights out and away we go, and it's another great start there for the P2 setters J as they barrel out in towards turn 1 side by side. Go to McLaren's J just backs out and lets Nathan go through here as they all start to get through in the mid pack. That's an Aston Martin going wide. I think that's Doug just dropping down positions. So unfortunate, I think he got caught up in the melee. As you can see, a Mercedes going off the road. That's Alvaro Chabas as well. Oh my god, and Williams just saying we're flying into the wall then as well as they all filter down in towards turn 4. It seems well behaved here so far as the Haas tries to make up its own racetrack as they all barrel on through in towards turn 6. We've got Ferrari around the outside. That's Nick Judd trying to make up 2 positions here. Also trying to go around the outside. Nimble Cat down the inside goes the Aston Martin of Doug trying to make a move there as well. Nothing quite doing there for Doug. But a good race start. Fia Jackboy going around the outside of Nick. A little bit of contact there, but he goes on through. And here comes a Ferrari sandwich on the Alpine as well. That's Nick diving up the inside. Nothing quite doing. Endeavour Rejected holds on to P13 there. Good racing for the pair of them. Nathan already has a 1 second gap to Jay as well. Nathan really is showing his race pace here into Lagos. As we can see, the old jockey for positions here in the mid-pack. That's the Aston Martin of Doug going down the inside again of Fia Jack. And he's got the move done. Fia Jack boy has cut the track though. And oh my gosh, turned into a little bit scruffy here towards the back of the field. As we can see, is that Endeavour Rejected now going down the inside of Fia Jack boy, making the move again. Back up into P11. Jack's car again struggling with connection issues there, but Endeavour Rejected does take back P11 here. And Doug has managed to recover from that shaky start and is back into the top 10. But as we can see, F1 Viva has been hunted down by F7R Taylor here, and Taylor will be very eager to show his pace on these medium compound tyres. F1 Viva on the hards, of course. It's going to be very interesting to see, of course, the difference in tyre compounds, and we do look at F1 Viva in a very good position here on the hards in the DRS train, right behind F7RJ. The hards are a very good race tyre around Brazil, to be honest. If you can get them working after 3 or 4 laps, they really are super effective here. As Richie Yates has the fastest lap of this race, currently in P6. He's looking for a move on Heighton, who in turn is looking for a move on F7R Taylor as well. Taylor will not want to be swamped by hard compound runners, and here they come. Here comes Heighton. He's right on the back of Taylor. Oh my god, he's nearly put Richie J into the wall moving over, but Richie J does get the move on Taylor. And now, here comes Heighton down the inside of Taylor, and he makes the move coming out of turn 4, leaving space out of 5 as well, and they do get through cleanly. The yellow flag, and that's hopefully not for Podge. Podge is going side by side, yeah, he's mowing the grass. Oh my god. Podge just wants to rejoin cleanly. Sorry, that's not Podge, that's Fia Jackboy coming out in P19. I think if Haas going off into August, I immediately think it's Podge. Podge is Podge. But as we can see, Jay is back within the range of Nathan, and now the McLarens have got to work together in tandem to try and seal this race win, because UFL F1 Viva is on probably the ideal strategy here. He is in P3, he is on the hard compound tyres, and he's holding on to these guys. He's going to have a medium second stint, and he's going to be absolutely flying on that. We also got Richie J just behind them as well. As we can see, Taylor going for a move on Heighton, and he's just going to sit behind for now as they filter on through. We're now going board with the two McLarens, and they come out the centre S's of turns 2 and 3 and through in towards turn 4. Nothing quite doing for those guys at the minute. We'll now go back on board with Taylor and see if he's looking for a move on Heighton. Not quite yet either. The driver's just being pasted. He has Yudi going around the outside. Endeavour Rejected. He's already flashing you Yudi, but he is back up into P12 for the moment. The Portuguese driver trying to recover after a very, very awful sprint. As you can see, Endeavour Rejected just slotting in behind here. Buying this time at slower, trying to save his ERS. He is on the hard compound tyres, of course, and looking to settle into this race. We also have Taylor still really pushing through Heighton here. Heighton really struggling to stay with this train, but he's going to push the ERS to do so, and Heighton will stay within the main train, as will this whole gaggle of cars right the way up to P9 over the DRS train. Then we got Doug just on the outskirts here, kind of on his own. He's got a little bit of a gap to Podge, and he's also got a gap to Suss as well, so Doug got to do a little bit of grind in this race and kind of hope for a little bit of battling out in front, otherwise he will stay in no man's land. But here comes Taylor down towards turn 1 again, thinks of a move, doesn't quite go for it though. We'll have a look at Don Dedge though, who's right on the back of Endeavour Rejected, down in towards turn 1. Little bit of contact on. He spins him half spins him around, but he manages to get him back straight. Don Dedge has managed to, of course, settle back through. There's a move for the lead though, as of course Nathan and Jay are battling. Did I just see rain? Or am I seeing things? I think I'm seeing things here. But there we go, they're battling for the lead. Here comes UFO F1 Viva around the outside of turn 6. He's going for it. He's pulled the pin. The McLarens didn't work together the way they should have done. They went side by side out of turn 4, and that's hampered them here. And now down to P1 and P3. Nathan still retains the lead in this race, of course. However, he has got a car in between himself and his teammate, and it's all kicking off here on lap 5 of 36. Here at Interlagos, We have Red Wildfire go through on Uni, who's just losing the back end of his car. But Red goes through back up in the P15 on a medium traction control for this part of the race. Let's see if she can make up a few more positions. We've got Sus right on the back of Alvaro Chavas as well. But for the lead, Jay retakes it. He pushes the pass and he goes past Eurofro F1 Viva here. In towards turn 1, 2 and 3. There you go. Nathan goes a little bit deep. The Alpha Tauri again picking up his own part of the circuit there. It's Heighton. As he now hangs it around the outside. He's probably going to get done here by both Ricci J and Taylor, and does so. Here comes Taylor down the inside. Can he go for both of them here? Down the inside of both drivers. He has to go off the road. Does Ricci J, and through goes Heighton. Heighton goes back up into P5 after a little bit of mistake coming out of turn 3. But he is back going. I think Theo Jack's having some issues. He is having to retire from this race here on lap 6. And that is his championship hopes gone now for Theo Jack. Mathematically, he now cannot win the championship. It'll be between Alvaro Chavas and F7R Taylor, who will crown the Season 8 Bronze World Champion. As we can see, Sus right on the back of Alvaro Chavas as well. Nothing quite doing just yet. As we can see, Nathan's pulled quite a bit of a gap to Jay, but it's enough of a gap to where he's still able to sit behind and kind of bide his time. We've also got Taylor right behind F1 Viva. Taylor's just not been able to really fire up these medium compound tyres the way he would have wanted as a yellow flag. As we can see, Denrod and Ricci ghosting again through Denrod. But he had to come barrel down in towards turn 4. Down the inside goes Ricci. Denrod hangs it around the outside. Great race from the pair of them. Ricci goes through. That's a brilliant move down the inside. We also got Nick Joe right behind Davor Jack, who's been in the wars in this race. Well, of course, Dundedge nearly putting them off at turn 1, but managed to correct that. Ricci J and Denrod still battling side by side. Yeah, mediums versus the hards. The hards will be starting to come into their own and start being faster than the mediums, probably around lap 8 or 9, and we are approaching that point now. As we can see, Denrod really pushing Ricci J through, and we'll probably try and push the past if Ricci J doesn't get, of course, the DRS range of Heighton, and now the top 5 are now in their own little DRS train. And here comes Taylor. He's going around the outside of the main straight. He's going to try and go around the outside turn 1 as well. No, he's just backing off it. He doesn't have the battery to really fight. Denrod going for him. Ricci J, of course, with the DRS. That's move done there for the Alfa Romeo driver as well. As they all filter their way through, including his teammate Sus down in P9. We now have Taylor 3 attempts back from F1 Viva. Not quite close enough to make a move in towards turn 4. We'll have a look a bit further back. That's a brilliant camera angle again. As we can see, Ricci J going for a move on Denrod. That's move done there for the Williams driver. A brilliant race for Ricci J. This time out really showing his abilities here in bronze this morning. Up the inside though, come Denrod again. Down a brilliant fight, these two. Brilliant battling. Alvaro Chavas, who's currently P2 in this championship, is really struggling to make an impact here. He's currently down in P8. He's not really laying a glove on anyone at the moment. He's on the hard compound tyres, of course, but however, there are some hard runners who are getting a lot more out of their tyres at this current moment than the Portuguese driver. But I think the one to watch here is Taylor. I think he's trying to save up his DRS here, but he is behind Eurofro F1 Viva, who I think may have just been outside DRS range. We will wait and see here. Taylor's pushed all his battery to really push Eurofro F1 Viva. He does have the DRS. Eurofro F1 Viva doesn't. He defends to the inside. Will it be enough with DRS? Not quite. Taylor goes around the outside, swoops to the inside on the racing line, and he gets the move done. Denrod round the outside again of turn 1, gets the move done. On Ricci J, he goes for a switchback here outside of the Aston Martin driver. Nothing quite doing now, and here comes Alvaro Chavas. He's 2 turns back. Nothing quite doing there. Here comes Ricci J, looking down the inside. Nothing quite doing again. And Yudi's not near any other cars, so it's probably not best that we show Yudi until he's in a battle, because we've got a lot of battling going on. And here is Dundedge and Red Wildfire battling here for P13 and 14. Nothing quite doing as of yet. Red trying to find their feet on the medium traction control again. Dundedge breaks really late there, going in towards turn 7. Manages to get it slowed down though, and does really well in that regard. You can see Sus right at the back of Alvaro Chavas as well. So it's really not showing the pace that we know he has. I'm not sure if he's getting the practice miles that he would do. But I would have expected Sus to be right up there with the main pack here since returning. But Demrod gets a 3-second time out for corner cutting. The third of them in this race, Liam and Yudi with the other ones. A swap for the lead here as McLaren swap positions multi-21 here for the McLarens as Jay goes through. And now we see Nathan put into the slipstream of Jay here. But they do have Taylor on his back who has managed to get past F1 Viva. F1 Viva really struggling now on his hot, but he's got so much battery saved up here. I think he's just hoping the tyres go off of those behind. Richie J also making a move on Demrod. Doug making a move on Podge as well, going through turn 4. Not enough space left really left for Podge, but he goes back through. Doug letting him back through there. I think he realised he just overcooked it going into turn 4. Really good sportsmanship there from Doug. And Podge goes back through and up into the top 10. We now have Dundedge and Nick going side by side as well. Going through turn 6. Sweeping right hand of turn 6 and now going towards turn 7. Nick goes deep. Dundedge looking for the switchback here. He's still there, is Nick. Not a very flattering camera angle again. When he dived down the inside, he just slots in behind Nick. Brilliant racing there from those two. And Taylor gets a 3-second time penalty. And that could be massive for the driver currently in P3 and currently leading the championship. We'll wait and see. Safety cars are a thing in Brazil. They are quite frequent, so we will wait and see if that is a factor in this race. But you can see the top 3 coming through in tandem, and will Taylor try and push the two McLarens to fight here? That'll be the question here, as we can see Richie J and Denrod again battling, coming out of turn 1, costing each other a little bit of time here, but it's been brilliant battling for the pair of them. Very, very fair from both, as we can see Richie J go down the inside again with the DRS. His teammate Sus looking to follow as well. Here comes Sus on his teammate Denrod, and he goes on through. That's a good move there from Sus, and now you can try and pull the pin and try and go for a move. And Richie J as well, going in towards turn 6. Nothing quite doing there. Oh my god, that lag. Sus just having to back out there because of the lag spot. I feel very sorry for him because of that, but we've all seen that before. We don't like to see it when racing, however the connection on this game is truly horrendous. I will say that much. Heighten now, right on the back of F1 Viva, who again has dropped off through the field. He should have really used the DRS to try and burn it, to stay with these guys, but unfortunately he's not really getting the momentum we would have wanted, and now we see the top 3 battling. Taylor now right on the back of Nathan here, who's losing a little bit of touch to his teammate. However, he's not losing enough to really cause him any issues. Nathan already flashing, he's losing a lot of battery here to try and stay at the pace of his teammate, of course. We've now got Sus making a move on Richie J as well. Sus now leading this train from P6. Sus now is trying to prove me wrong, I think, when I mentioned the pace deficit. But he gets a little bit squirrely coming out of the center S's, and here comes Taylor. Nothing quite doing there for him. Heighten going around the outside of F1 Viva as well. That's a good move there from the Alpha Tauri driver of Heighten. Sus defending well from Richie J as well. So brilliant battering here in Interlagos as we reach the 1/3 point of this race. Nothing quite doing there. Podge managing to cling on just about to Albert Chavas as well. But these penalties are going to massively affect these guys. Heighten and for F1 Viva have got to work together yet to stay with the front runners. They are going to want to be at the end. With the DRS, it's so powerful around here. I could drag these guys away for a race win, but we'll have to wait and see though, as Taylor almost loses it for the second to last corner yet again. Got to be very careful with that Taylor. He's getting a little bit too early on the throttle here. As Dundedge and Doug are having their own little battle at the back, as Dundedge has pitted for the medium tyres. Doug onto the hards for the end of this race. The mediums is a very brave call there for Dundedge. I'm not sure if he's going for a 2-stop strategy or trying to guess of a safety car, of course. We'll have to wait and see, of course, of that. Here comes Jay and Nathan out the centre S's, and I think we'll see a swap here between the McLarens, with Taylor pushing them through. Side by side, go Taylor and Nathan. Nothing quite doing just yet. Nathan managing to hold off Taylor without overtaking his teammate of Jay. The McLaren's managing this race very well here. And we can see Richie J and Sus almost put a gap to Denrod here. He was really starting to lose momentum. He is on the hard, so they will come back to him. Richie J and Sus on the mediums. Those hards were not working quite as well as I would have expected. You can see he's getting a snap there, Denrod, as well. Possibly showing that the hard is not an ideal tyre to use here in Interlagos. We'll have to wait and see on that, of course. We've also got Liam right on the back of Yudi trying to look for a move, but nothing quite doing yet for the Red Bull driver. But again, the gaps are quite stagnant here at the front, so I reckon this will probably stay the same on this lap unless there's a major mistake coming through the centerettes for F7RJ. But it has been an absolutely thrilling Grand Prix and sprint race here in the Lagos. We've got Podge making a move on Alvaro Jamas on the main straight. Through goes Podge, and he is up into P9. Alvaro looks to try and get him back here. But here is Taylor right on the back of Nathan. Nathan having to use his battery to defend here. But Taylor just not able to make the move on F7 on Nathan. Nathan looking for back-to-back race wins. If we count the sprint race, it'd be an amazing feat, but not quite doing it at the minute. Currently in P2, his teammate in P1. And the McLarens managing this race very well here. We also have Rishi J still right on the back of Sus, both flashing, but Rishi J really carried a lot of momentum through Sector 1 in towards Sector 2 now, as they come out 8 and in towards 9 and 10. And Nathan's lost the DRS to his teammate. This could be massive here. If I was Jay, I'd be lifted off and trying to let his teammate back through, because now he's going to be under attack from the Alpine. Of course, the second to last corner isn't Taylor's best spot on the track, and as I mentioned it, he has lost 7 tenths. Now to Nathan is the gap, and now Nathan really is burdened. Jay's got to be mindful here that if he doesn't give a DRS to his teammate, he will be susceptible to Taylor, and maybe even Heighton, who might be able to catch up with his train as well, but we will wait and see on that. Denrod has pulled the pin. He has pitted off the hards, and he's sped into the pit lane. And what's went from 3-second power, he's now going to have 8 seconds at the end of this race now, Denrod. As we can see, Rishi J and Sus now battling for P7 and P6 in this race. As they go side by side, going in towards turn 4 yet again. These two will be battling all race. And Rishi J does go through yet again and takes P6 provisionally in this race. F1 Viva and Heighton just holding station at the moment. I think they've realised that they have to work together. They can't fight. But speaking of fighting, here comes Taylor and Nathan. These two have a storied history here at F7. Taylor's been here since Season 1. He won the old Division 2, of course, in Season 1 as well. And yeah, Jim saying, of course, that he does want Devil Rejected to beat Red Wildfire, but nothing quite doing for Devil Rejected at the minute, who is battling, of course. Mad G is on track. He is holding his own to the Williams at the minute. But of course, still a lot of time to go in this race. Still a lot of twists and turns to come. But Taylor has went for the under. He sped to the pit lane. Taylor's also sped. Oh, that's massive. He's now got 8 seconds worth of penalties himself. That is not what Taylor would have wanted. He had on lap 16 or 36. He will go to the hard to the end of this race though. And now one of the McLarens will have to respond to Taylor. Of course, they can't both pit at the same time, because they will be double stacked and not serviced as quickly as they would want to be with this game. As a yellow flag towards the back, I'm not quite sure who that's for. Oh, that's an AlphaTauri, that's Don Dedge. Having a spin, not the Grand Prix he would have wanted. He had Don Dedge. So unfortunate for him. He had such a good qualifying as well. Oh my god, was that cutting the grass there? Was Jay. But as we can see, the two McLarens all in DRS into each other. If I was Jay, I'd be pulled into the pits now. He's given his teammate the DRS for one more lap. If Jay comes in, he can trigger, of course, the overcut on Taylor, and he has gone. And now Nathan will stay on for one more lap, but he will get the DRS, of course, from Jay, and they can now push on. And Jay's got a 5-second time over speed as well. Mamma mia. Just not working out here. And Alvaro's got a 5-second time penalty as well. What is going on in this pit lane? As we can see, F1 Viva is right behind Heighton. And oh yeah, Jim, Red speaks very highly of the MSC races. She loves racing on the Tuesday nights. Of course, Gennady did as well, but not able to make them as much anymore. But yeah, Red absolutely enjoying, really pushing to the limit on Tuesdays as well. And she is up into P9 at the minute with people pitting. Here comes the Ferrari and the Alpine. That is Taylor and Yudi battling in towards turn 4. Of course, Taylor just pitting for the fresh hard compound tyre. Oh my god! Yudi's turned into him! He sent the championship lead off the track! Oh my word! That was so close, a catastrophe there for Taylor. And it is going to hamper, of course. It's undercut Jay Silva off the road. It's not going the way Taylor would have wanted. I don't think Yudi realised he was that alongside. He nearly sent Taylor with him into the wall. Lucky enough, there's so much runoff and into Lagos. He's managed to avoid that, but yep, it's going to allow Nathan to also get the overcut on Taylor. As he's now going through, Taylor will make the move. And there's a VSC. There's a VSC here on lap 17 of 36. And Red is going to take this opportunity to pit. As for a few hours, including Nathan's going to pit here under a VSC. Nathan might come out in the lead of this race here. I didn't even take that into account. I think Jay is a little bit too far ahead. I think Nathan was already into the pits when the VSC came out. And it's going to be very interesting now to see where everyone in the mid-pack just come out who did choose to extend their stints. But yeah, Nathan's got a big gap to work towards to kind of get back into the range of Jay. That undercut really worked wonders for Jay then. But yeah, we'll wait to see when the green flags do choose to come out. We haven't had a safety car yet. We're at the halfway point of this race. Just a VSC here on lap 18. Oh, Devrajetic gets a drive-through for speed on the VSC. That is not great for him. He was the only driver to get it though. We now have Taylor right on the back of Nathan, and this is for provisional P2 in this race, or is it? No, Richie J's coming into the pits now. I thought Reese had come into the pits then. But Taylor just shooting something behind. He's got 8 seconds worth of penalties as Taylor. This race has not unravelled the way the Alpine driver would have wanted. But I think he could still be crowned world champion today, despite this race not being his best by any stretch. He's had a little bit of bad luck as well with traffic. We've got F1 Viva still right behind Heighton. They are staying out on their hard compound tyres here. They just missed the pit lane, of course, for the VSC as well. Devrajetic has retired with that drive-through, and yeah, that is so unfortunate there for him. We've got a lot of UD fans here in the chat. UD unfortunately having that contact there with the race leader, but he is still in the train. It's so unfortunate. Yeah, don't worry, Delta. It's so unfortunate when you get the Delta like that. So don't worry. It's so unfortunate getting the drive-through. As we can see, Heighton coming into the pits. So Heighton tried to go for the undercut, and he has sped as well. So I think we can safely say that people's brakes are a little bit too hot coming into the pits because they are also going to get slowed down. Nathan's now back within the range of Jay as well. Taylor there as well. Oh my god, he looked for it down the inside. There wasn't the space though. He's got a massive snap coming through the centre S's, and it will slot him right in behind the two race leaders here. But Nathan is the only driver without penalties in the top 3, so Nathan is in the net race lead here on lap 20. It's going to be interesting to see how long F1 Viva just chooses to hang it out on the hard. It might be this lap where he chooses to come in for the mediums to try and get the most out of them for the final period of this race. And here is Liam, and here comes down the inside Reese J. It's a good move here from Reese to get past Liam and in towards P10 he comes. Of course, he has pitted here, Reese, compared to a few of the other drivers. So he's now got to get the most out of the hard tyres to the end of this race. We now got Yudi and Doug going side by side as well. Doug managing to hold it around the inside. Yudi looking around the outside. There's not space there, but as you can see, Nick going for the switchback on his teammate and Doug as well. Yudi trying to hold the outside line. Nothing quite doing there though for Yudi. Two Ferraris going in tandem. As F1 Viva has come into the pits now. But yep, a Ferrari squallable here on lap 21. And as we can see, Taylor has moved without the DRS range of the two McLarens yet. And Taylor is going to be really susceptible to the likes of Suss, Heighton and Albert Chabas, even with the 5-second time penalties. What's got Red right on the back of Reese J as well. Not looking to make a move just yet is Red. Reese J and Liam are having a battle here for what is the top 10 in this race. Also got Nick right on the back of his teammate of Yudi as he is coming on through. in towards turn 6 and now in towards turn 7 here in sector 2. Next got a little bit more ERS as his teammate. UD is dropping off the pack as well, not quite showing the pace on those hard compound tyres is the Portuguese driver. As Denrod may look to repass his teammate of stuff despite the penalties. I think Denrod's showing some really good pace in this race, so they may actually switch it around those two. We will wait and see on that though, as Heighton sets the fastest lap of this race. He is pushing so hard on those medium compound tyres, is the AlphaTauri driver of Heighton. And he'll be one to watch towards the end of this race, as will F1 Viva, who pitted the latest of anyone on the hard compound tyres. But in terms of the front, it is still Jay from Nathan, and they are holding a good pace there from Taylor. Taylor just sneaking back at the DRS range for a moment. However, I think the McLarens are fairly comfortable now in this race. There's a yellow flag towards the back. That's for a mistake. That's Alvaro Chabas! That is Alvaro Chabas who has spun around. They're coming out of turn 6. As he now goes through turn 7, he's still in the top 10, is Alvaro, but that is so unfortunate. It's going to leave him so susceptible to drivers behind as well. We're going to have a look at the stops and just see who stopped and who hasn't, and everyone has now, so everyone's made their pit stops. And I think they'll be looking for a move on Alvaro. Will be really struggling on those tyres. They'll be absolutely cooking after that spin. And there goes Liam and Ricci, both down the inside. That has moved on for the pair of them here on lap 23. And also Red making a move on a teammate as well. So Red will actually be in the top 10 now with penalties. So Red trying to get what would be a P9 in this race and would be a good recovery drive after a Grand Prix which has not been too great for the Mercedes team in general. We got Nick also looking to pull an attack on Red Wildfire as well. Can't even say her name. But yeah, Taylor's just hanging into the range, but with his 8 seconds, he's just at a point in this race where he can't really do anything. He's pushing his ERS to try and stay with these guys as well. He just doesn't have the race pace compared to the McLaren team this time out, and it's so weird to see. And yeah, it is a lot of unnecessary penalties here this race, the most I've probably ever seen in a bronze race, to be honest. But Doug does pick up a 3-second time penalty as well towards the back in P18. So that's not what he would have wanted. UFO F1 Viva also making a mistake. Nathan making a move for the lead this race into turn 4. He's now said he wants to lead this race. And the McLarens do have a lot of ERS saved as well. But here comes Taylor around the outside of turn 6. Jay just being patient. He knows he has the ERS on F7 you can see it on its dashboard. Heighton also making a move on Denrod. Side by side they go. A little bit of contact here. And around the outside they go again. And Heighton gets the move done on Denrod. But he's going to compromise his line coming out of turn 10. But Denrod just doesn't have the traction to really capitalise on it. But there are some great battles throughout this field here. And they are mostly in the mid-pack, but it is absolutely brilliant to see. And Jay is dropping out with the range here. He does have the oldest tyres in this train, of course, bar Taylor's. So it is easy to see why he is dropping out. Nathan is just cruising. He doesn't even really need to push the battery with Taylor's penalties. You can see Taylor burning all his ERS. He's going to go right the way down to 0% here as Podge picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. And he goes for the move on Nathan, down the inside, and he gets the move done coming out of turn 4. And now Jay's got to close back up, and the McLarens have got to work together again to get back in towards P1 and P2. We've seen it in the past from Taylor, where he's got so many penalties that he just pits and goes for the fastest lap. We'll see if Taylor does choose to do that again. So nothing quite doing there. Podge is right behind F1 Viva as well. Podge is having a brilliant recovery drive after what was a tragic sprint for the Swedish driver, but he's really pulled it together here in the main race, and he's staying with a driver who's probably one of the fastest on track at the moment, as he does look to close down the rest of the field. What's got Reece J right on the back of Nick Jurt. If they come out at 10 and through, 11 and 12 they go. Again, nothing quite doing for them. There's a couple of position changes as Denrod does come into the pits. I think he's trying to get rid of that 5-second time post. The second time Denrod has pitted. And he will go to the soft compound tyres. I think he'll have a little bit of fun towards the end of this race. As you know, his race is basically over at this point. As we can see, nothing quite doing for Podge and F1 Viva at the minute as well. Them two are really pushing each other. Nathan has repassed Taylor as well for the lead of this race. You know, he's saying, oh my god, they both got a massive snap there coming out of turn 7. They managed to just keep it a straight line though as they come in towards turn 10. Again, nothing quite doing. As Nick and Reece J do following through. Nick's showing some really good pace in this race. He's just not been able to make the moves. Oh, a little bit of contact between him and Reece J. They do get off scot-free though, which is the main thing for both drivers involved. As we see Red mounting the curb then, and that is a 3-second time penalty, and that goes Red's probable chance of points here. We will wait and see if Reece J can pull a gap though. That is a question. Jay has made a move on Taylor going in towards turn 1. And now the McLarens are back in a P1 and P2. But that's a great switch back there from Taylor coming out of the centre exit out of turn 3. And now Jay might have to push to past Nathan. And Nathan may have to close the door on Taylor. And he does so going in towards turn 4. That's a good move there by Nathan to keep Taylor behind. Good teamwork there by the McLarens. We now have Reece J still right on the back of Nick Joe, who's made the move on him as well. Coming out of turn 1. Nick now putting on the gas and trying to make his way in towards Liam, who hasn't had a great race weekend yet. He did come in last minute though, Liam, so it is understandable he hasn't had much practice. We've got Nimble Cat making a move on Dundedge, who has come into the pits for the soft compound tyres. And now Taylor's just got so much speed through the mid part of this lap. It's complete opposite to the sprint. Taylor had the pace on the straights, and now he's actually got the pace in the middle of the track, so I'm not sure if Taylor's got much more pace, of course, on the hard compound tyres compared to the softs which he was on in the sprint. Jay has retaken the lead of this race, and of course Nathan is just behind. But here we go. Let's see if Taylor does choose to put on the gas and try to put pressure on these McLaren drivers to try and make a mistake here. Of course, a lot of drivers behind Taylor do have penalties as well, so if you can get these two to crash into each other, you know, it would be beneficial for him. But Heighton is nearly caught up to this train as well. It's so unfortunate that Heighton got that 5 seconds, because he would be in with a chance of this race win. He's going to really struggle in the final 8 laps of this race to really pull that off. But as we can see, Nick and Liam side by side going in towards turn 4, and that is move done here for the Dutch driver of F7R, Nick. Oh, and Reece J's had contact, I think. That was with Red Wildfire. And he is dropping down the positions here, Reece J. He's had such a good race. He's had so many brilliant battles. He gave us some such great entertainment. It's so unfortunate there for him. But we'll see what Taylor can do now. He's just trying to save his ERS again as Taylor. As Jay, of course, has spent all head. And I think Nathan's basically done the same as well. But two McLaren's just trying to sit in tandem again, and Taylor does put that pressure on and try and go for some moves. You can see Nathan really struggling with the car. Coming out of turn 2, almost having to have 2 stabs at it. Coming out of turn 2, but here comes F7R Taylor. He's a little bit too far back, I think, to go for a move. Nothing quite doing. At this moment, Ginaldi says his driver today would be Heighton at this current moment, and yeah, Heighton's drove a brilliant race so far. What would it be if he had, of course, had a brilliant and clean pit stop? But as you can see, Nathan's still right at the back of his teammate Jay, but Taylor is much closer this time around. Let's see. Is it a battle going in towards turn 1? F1 Viva also right on the back of Sus. His tyres are finally coming into their own. And could we see F1 Viva, what he is already in the podium places with the penalties, could even go for a late charge for a race win here. There are 6 laps to go, of course. There's his teammate, of course, Doug, who I think is trying to give him DRS, and if he has done, he's done an absolutely brilliant job. There's Doug, he has done. That's brilliant teamwork there from the Aston Martin team. Almost like in realistic with my lads, Riker and Lewis. Of course, Aston Martin team principle. In realistic, Dondage gets another 3-second time out, but Dondage is on the soft, he's just trying to, of course, set as fast a lap as possible. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. How UFO F1 Viva is going to be one to watch towards the end of this race. He's got 6 laps now. He's on the freshest medium compound tyres in the field. Let's see, can he put the pressure on the likes of Height and Taylor, Nathan, and even Jay, and try and go for this race win? Oh, I think Nick's around. Oh, it's so unfortunate again. Nick's had so many good moments, as has Liam with recovery drive. We'll see that after the race. Rishi J also gets a 3-second time penalty, but that's not going to really play a factor in things, as he is outside the top 10 at this moment. Nathan still choosing to stay behind Jay. Taylor dropping off again. Must have had a poor exit out of the second to last corner. Nothing quite doing there. Is Yudi close to the point? He is in the points, actually, Yudi. So, yep, Yudi in a good position here, but he is being hunted down by likes of Red Wildfire. And here comes Nathan, still right on the back of Jay, just lifting off. Not really going for a move. And as you can see, here comes Red and Yudi both battling, coming through the center S's. Can Red make a move here to move up into P8? There's been so many little crashes in the mid-pack this race that Red might actually make her way into a point scoring position. Round the outside she goes. Can she hold it? Side by side she goes with, of course, FDRY Yudi. And Yudi holds the position. Brilliant defensive driving there by the Portuguese driver, who holds on to P8 at least for the moment. We've now got Podge right on the back of Suss as well. Podge has really come into his own towards the end of this race. F1 Viva has also into the DRS range of Heighton, thanks to his teammate Doug getting the DRS on the previous lap as well. And there goes Podge, and Podge is up in the top 6 as well. So we're seeing a lot of late charges in this race. But is it too late for some? I think F1 Viva will have to make the move this lap if he wants to, of course, challenge for a race win here. And I don't think he's quite close enough to Heighton. And of course, Nathan is just choosing to stay behind his teammate. Massive thank you to everyone tuning in this morning. And there goes Yudi and Red again coming through turn 1 and in towards center S's. Suss is looking for the switch back on Yudi as well. And here comes the Ferrari driver into the slipstream with the DRS and the ERS. Could say 3 wide going in towards turn 4. Red backs out of it. Yudi goes through. What a brilliant move from the Portuguese driver as he moves back up into P8 in this race. And that is Denrod, sorry, not Suss. So Suss going through on Red as well. That's a brilliant move from Suss to move in between them there and up in towards P7. Yudi again battling. But here comes Red Wildfire looking for the inside line, going in towards turn 10. Nothing quite doing. Again, but here comes the Williams and Mad G out of nowhere. Sticking his nose up the inside of 10. And I'm not quite sure where all these drivers are coming from towards the end of this race. But there's some brilliant battles going on. And here comes F1 Viva as he comes out of the center S's. Can he go for a move on height? And he's just a little bit of time. He was a 10th back. And his teammate now is actually hampering him here. Is Doug. He's giving DRS to the car which he's trying to pass. But we can just see Taylor now right behind Nathan and trying to force the McLarens into a mistake. He's got to hope that Jay can get 3 seconds. Taylor has to catch the car yet again here. He's had to do that a few times here, Taylor, but he's done it brilliantly. You can see Taylor's experience has really carried him in this final set of this race. We got Maggi still right on the back of Red Wildfire though, as they barreled out in towards turn 6. You can just see that yeah, just not allowing Maggi to really make up the time deficit. But here comes F1 Viva again though. Doug is giving DRS to Heighton behind. I'm not sure if Doug's trying to drag them all up towards the front runners. I'm trying to guess what Doug's doing here. I think he's trying to drag them all towards the front runners, but it's not really helping F1 Viva. I think if he got past Highton in clean air, I think he'd get there a lot quicker. But we'll wait and see what develops in the Aston Martin camp towards the end of this race. But yep, Highton not quite able to close down, of course, to the front three at this moment. He is getting a little bit of assistance, of course, from the lap car in front with DRS, but still nothing quite doing there for Highton. We've got some battles for the fringe of the points. Alvaro's just got too many penalties to work his way back into it after this spin. It'll be interesting to see where Taylor does finish at the end of this race. In terms of the championship, I'll have to do a little bit of maths, of course. So we'll wait and see if Taylor has won at this race or not. Because there is a lot of factors going on. Taylor's pitted! This could be a massive error from Taylor. He's picked up another 5 seconds. Why is Taylor pitted? Even with the penalties, he could have still won the championship today. I'm not sure why he's pitted on the second to last lap. That's not as much. The fastest lap wouldn't have been as useful, but here comes F1 Viva down the inside of Highton, going in towards turn 4. Little bit of contact. Hard but fair race in between the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin. F1 Viva not quite able to make the move yet, but he might try and go for it on the final lap. And it is, of course, officially for the podium position here. It could even be for P2 in this race. We do have Nathan still in a race winner position. Here on lap 35 and 36, it would be essentially 3 race wins in a row. 3 race wins in a row for Nathan, because he won the sprint as well earlier this morning. And of course, he won the race last time out. But here comes F1 Viva on the final lap. We'll watch him and we'll also watch Nathan. Nathan's got so much ERS. He is going for it here, Nathan, so we'll stay on board with the F7R owner and McLaren driver as he does go through for the race lead here on the final lap. And he wants to win this on track as well. He'll now burn all of his ERS and try and win this race. We also have Highton and F1 Viva also going for a move on each other. And here comes F1 Viva trying to defend from Highton. Highton, of course, have that 5 second speed in the pit lane. But down the inside stays Highton, and Highton takes that move back on F1 Viva. So we have one more shot on the main straight, leading up towards the line. We also have a 7 red wildfire right on the back of Taylor. Taylor won't even be able to get a fastest lap point here. He didn't actually cross the line. I'm not quite sure what the strategy is, but you might be able to catch Denrod still. You probably will with the soft tyres. But we'll stay on board with the race leaders here as Jay and Nathan make their way towards the line. Nathan, from 0 race wins just 7 days ago, is now going to pick up his 3rd race win in concession. Nathan is your race winner here in Interlagos. Jay came home P2 on track, but UFO F1 Viva will take it on penalties. Jay in P3, Podge in P4, Highton in P5, Sus takes on P6. Taylor does get Denrod. However, with all the penalties Taylor has, Denrod's just going to get him back here. So we'll watch this up towards the line as Denrod will take home P7 for a P6 and 7 for the Alfa Romeo team. Maggi takes P8, Highton takes P9, Taylor takes P10 in this race. So Taylor picks up 1 point, Nick in P11, Alvaro in P12, Liam comes home in P13, Rishi J P14. Actually, Rishi J will be P15, you will be P14. But wow, what an ending to this race, and there was some brilliant drivers out there throughout. And I'm going to give driver today to Podge, because I think that was an absolutely brilliant comeback drive from Podge after what was an absolutely disastrous sprint race. He was around a turn 8 on lap 1 of the sprint, and that's an absolutely brilliant result. Let me just see timing wise, because I've also got to make some food before Silver. We'll leave out the interviews, guys, just because of time constraints. But what a brilliant race from Nathan, who does win here at Interlagos, and for the 2nd week in a row, Nathan takes it home after his heroics in Australia. You got the strategy right there. This was not on strategy. This was pure race pace. And purely brilliant drive from the McLaren team. Shout out to his teammate at World J, who's back on the podium for the first time in a long time. It's brilliant to see Jay find his feet again. So unfortunately, he lost that position due to a penalty, but F1 Viva again keeps up a streaks of podiums in every single race. So we'll just go along to the race result. As it is, Nathan, who is your race winner in Interlagos? I will get the screenshots for you, Nathan, don't worry. There you are, the rest of the account for you. So, yep, it is Nathan from UFO F1 Viva. We've got JMP3, Height, JMP3, Podgem P4, Heighton and P5, Sus P6, Denrod in the top 10. Great result there for Denrod. Mad J in P8, Red Wildfire in P9, and Taylor. I'm not quite sure why he picked at the end there, because he might have just lost the opportunity to win the championship this weekend because of that. But, yeah, what a brilliant end to this race. Here in Interlagos, massive thank you to everyone for tuning in this morning. It's been an absolutely brilliant spectacle put on by the bronze drivers, and we'll see you again at 12:30 for the silver race. Thank you very much, everyone.